Whatever you are, you're an embarrassment.
He's a Nazaru.
Wait till you see the real power of a Saiyan.
Yo, what's up? This your boy Rudy Winslow with another episode of 30 Black and Nerdy. And today, in light of the season 3 of Invincible ending, maybe a couple weeks ago, or almost a couple weeks ago, I'm gonna do the Omni-Man versus Bardock death battle. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I know Omni-Man is a problem, and I haven't finished the comics, I haven't read ahead. But I do know Bardock, I do know Dragon Ball Z, and I do know Bardock is planetary. And if I were to pick up Bardock and put him in the Invincible universe, he'll be good. He'll do good. That's my guess. So I know Bardock wasn't like on the same level as Nappa and Vegeta, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure Bardock was planetary. So for this one, I'm going to say Bardock is going to win this one. I'm gonna go Bardock.
Omni-Man versus Bardock.
The ostracized Viltrumite and the doomed Saiyan.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Omni-Man, Earth's once greatest hero. Alongside the Guardians of the Globe, he protected the world from all manner of threats. And then, in a single day, it all went horribly wrong.
Why, Omni-Man? How, Omni-Man? Who?
Bruh, the way that took me completely off guard, I did not expect. Like, I guess there's probably a cult following that of people that's like for real Invincible fans, and I mean I'm a for real Invincible fan now, but like people who knew the comics before the actual series. But when I saw dude just snap, in my mind I'm thinking like, dang, he under mind control or something, and he just spazzing out because some villain like control his mind. No, this man complete mission, and his mission is to go to the planet, live there, and crash out. But honestly, I don't think he was supposed to like fall in love and live there. I think low key he was just supposed to go crash out, kind of like Conquest. If y'all up to date in the series, but bruh,
Omni-Man?
Who indeed? Champion of Earth, best-selling author J.K. Simmons, yet it was all a charade, with his murderous rampage only brought to a halt thanks to his own son.
It all starts with his home planet, Viltrum, which I hear is a totally lovely utopia.
Through brutal mortal combat.
With a K! Or, wait, no, that came later.
Viltrumites are among the most powerful beings in the universe, even more so after they purge the weaker members of their species. As a vanguard of the Viltrumite Empire, Omni-Man infiltrated Earth as Nolan Grayson, expected to prepare the planet for Imperial assimilation.
Which should have been easy, since he's got your classic strongman superpowers and he's basically invulnerable, easily knocking around asteroids the size of Texas.
He can fly at unbelievable speeds, soaring from Earth to the planet Thraxa in under 1 week. Thraxa is, quote, a couple galaxies away, give or take, so a minimum of...
Okay, so Omni-Man actually, so that's why I like Death Battle, because they break it down to the point where like you can actually get a good understanding of like how strong Omni-Man is, because just kind of like looking at the comics is not at the comics, but at the series, you really just think he's a little bit, not a little bit, but like you think he's stronger than the Immortal, but the Immortal doesn't come across like somebody that's like gonna be a real problem. I mean, especially standing next to Omni-Man. But I'm getting what they're saying, and I guess I don't know. I guess I know Dragon Ball Z so much that it's hard for me to see other characters in that same light. But let's continue.
2 galaxies. Is, quote, a couple galaxies away, give or take, so a minimum of 2 galaxies. Beyond the Milky Way's neighbor Andromeda is the lesser-known Triangulum Galaxy, which is over...
I don't think Goku ever travel different galaxies, like just straight through space. Like I've seen it, like in I've seen him in space and be able to breathe, but I've never seen him like fly to a different galaxy, like him. So, yeah.
2.7 million light years away. Reaching it in under 1 week means Omni-Man must have flown over 142 million times faster than light.
Oh, and Viltrumites can't breathe in space, so he held his breath the whole way. And it's not like he was in a rush. He was on a soul-searching trip, contemplating the significance of smashing his own son's face in. Think, Nolan, think.
Yeah, this is why I'm never having kids.
Bro held his breath the whole time in space for a week. It's crazy.
You're missing out, but according to another Viltrumite, Thetis, a bunch of other Viltrumites who actually were in a hurry flew to Viltrum across the Virgo supercluster in less than 24 hours.
That's over 20 billion times faster than light.
You don't really need to rush anyway. The older a Viltrumite gets, the slower they age.
According to the Invincible Handbook, Nolan is over 2,000 years old. And regardless of age, Viltrumites don't suffer muscle fatigue like humans do, so they rarely ever tire out.
Seriously? He's got parenting easy mode on, and he couldn't even handle that. I would have killed for that back when my daughter was born.
Well, you would have to be a Viltrumite first. A Viltrumite's body contains smart atoms, which they subconsciously manipulate. This cellular structure can effectively recall certain states of being regardless of their present environment, reacting to changes at an atomic level to perform the impossible.
Yeah, like surviving your intestines getting ripped out, or even more scary, ripping out your whole beard all at once. Ugh, only a Viltrumite could pull off something that disturbing.
I ain't gonna lie, I just thought that was a fake bird, but come to think about it, bro just shaved, hit a quick shave. Like, what are we doing?
Nolan is incredibly tough, but if he faces superior forces, his smart atoms can adjust to make him even stronger by comparison. This is why Viltrumites are considered invincible.
Most weapons in the universe can't even scratch a Viltrumite like him.
Even a ship's cannon like this one can't take down a Viltrumite, and it obliterated a massive solar disk nearly half the size of a star.
Speaking of planets, he's strong enough to shatter one by flying straight through it. A planet so big it has a whole ring around it.
The Roche limit factor dictates the size a celestial body must be.
Uh-oh. He planetary. This makes him planetary. Listen, and that was my one thing. That's my one argument for all, like, anybody that say Dragon Ball Z versus this verse or anything like that. They say, can Goku be Naruto? Yes. Goku can destroy a planet with the flick of his fingers. But with them saying he could destroy a planet by just driving through it, it's a little shaky now, Bardock. It's a little shaky. I still got Bardock just because I'm loyal, but it's a little shaky.
In order to disperse orbiting material as a ring. In short, an Earth-sized planet can't support such a ring, meaning this one must be much larger.
And don't get me started on how the ring is actually made up of dead bodies because, spoilers? Just go read the comic.
If Roche isn't doing it for you, this planet...
A little spoiler, but I didn't know that. I did not. Wow.
Also supports 5 moons in its orbit, and even the smallest is a perfect sphere, meaning its own gravity shaped it. At minimum, a moon like that must have a diameter of 600 kilometers, or 370 miles. Comparing this to the planet's diameter, we can tell this world is nearly 14 times larger than Earth.
Or it was before, you know, kablam!
Now, Omni-Man does have his weaknesses. Monsters like Ragnar's can pierce Viltrumite flesh, and he's extremely sensitive to a specific high-pitched frequency, which can destabilize his body's equilibrium.
But his real weakness turned out to be, you guessed it, fatherhood. Thanks to his son Mark, Nolan began to re-examine his perspective and his place in the universe. He settled down in a new place, got himself a new job, and even had a new kid with his new wife, who's a bug. The bug lady... he banged a bug.
Why, Omni-Man? How, Omni-Man?
Hey, everyone deals with parenting stress in their own way. When Nolan was lecturing to Mark about how insignificant people are, Mark wasn't the only one he was trying to convince, if you catch my drift.
Nolan Grayson's real mission isn't planetary conquest or saving the innocent. It's to discover if a violent man who can break the world can also be a good father.
Godspeed, Omni-Man.
I think I miss my wife. You do, Omni-Man. You miss your wife. You miss her.
In the far reaches of the cosmos laid a world with a people like no other, born and raised to do just one thing. Fight.
The
Devour.
Saiyans, a proud warrior people from the planet Vegeta.
Let's go.
Ruled by, King Vegeta. Well, narcissist punch.
Exactly. Their pride blinded them to the truth of their impending doom. But perhaps one Saiyan represented the best of them, even during their waning glory days.
Bardock. He's
Bardock.
cool. He's
Bardeezy.
rude. He's got a bad attitude. And if he goes apeshit, you're totally screwed.
Goku daddy.
And guess what? He's father of Goku.
Oh wow, I never would have guessed.
Right? What a curveball.
So what does that make Turles?
Who?
Bardock was a cold-blooded killer, ruthlessly conquering planets in service to the Saiyans' true overseer, Lord Frieza.
They didn't just conquer planets, they wiped out every living thing, leaving Frieza uninhabited rocks to sell away. Bardock was an asshole. Well, until he wasn't.
Bardock
So he 30 plus years old, 5'10", 192. Yeah, heavyweight, or that's a heavyweight, right? Yeah, that's like a heavyweight. Yeah.
story has evolved over the years, with multiple iterations to draw from.
Including one where he's a
Now I ain't gonna lie, yeah, cause he probably about to say it on this one. He probably about to say it, but I did a video a while back, and they were saying like Bardock a scientist. He was a scientist. I'm like, I've never seen it, but hey, it is what it is. And also, the Bardock in Super, they made him a lot more gentle. So, you know.
brilliant scientist.
But only one is considered officially canon. Bardock's demeanor began to shift when he met and eventually married fellow warrior Guinea, and
so
had
this-
two sons, Raditz and Kakarot.
So this
No,
the
Bardock
canon one.
didn't go totally soft. He was still a ruthless warrior. You know that iconic red headband of his? It's stained with the blood of his fallen friends. Hardcore.
Bardock could fly,
hard.
move faster than light, and was naturally adept in using his ki as an explosive weapon.
AKA shooting lasers from his hands. True to his brutal screw you nature, Bardock's moves are all about overwhelming power. His final spirit cannon is like a ki-powered bazooka. His rebellion hammer punch ignites enemies on contact, and his rebellion spear basically turns him into a supercharged battering ram. The guy has no chill. He will run you over, break your spine, light you on fire, and then move on to the next guy. All in a day's work for a Saiyan.
Marriage didn't change that. While Bardock cared for Guinea, in fact being one of few Saiyans
I'm wondering, because he actually did become Super Saiyan, and I'm not sure if that's like part of, if they're gonna make that canon in this, but when Bardock went back to the past, when Frieza destroyed the planet, and then Bardock went back to the past, he became a Super Saiyan to Frieza's ancestor, and then they sent out the ancestral Super Saiyan thing. Look out for the Super Saiyan or whatever.
of his time to actually have a romantic partner, he was still no family man. Like most Saiyans, he saw his sons as nothing more than future soldiers.
Bardock was a low-class warrior, so it was unlikely his kids would grow up to be anything more than battlefield fodder.
But they would still possess the Saiyans' power, a transformation that was the key to their planetary devastation.
Big Monkey!
Under the light of a full moon, a Saiyan with a tail manifests the Uzaru.
This great
The
ape
Uzaru.
form increases Bardock's power
That
tenfold,
Uzaru.
turning him into an unstoppable kaiju. Quick, someone call Yajirobe!
While some Saiyans can maintain control over this berserker form, low-class warriors like Bardock don't receive the same level of training as those of
I'm not
higher
gonna
birth.
lie.
Prince Vegeta's control is so precise.
I'm not gonna lie. How they breaking this down, it don't look good for Bardock. It don't look good. It don't look good for Bardock. It don't look good. It don't look good for Bardock.
He can speak while changed, but Bardock cannot.
Hell, it's questionable if he even remembers everything that happens when he goes full tilt gorilla. The Saiyan strategy is pretty much just monkey see, monkey smash.
Despite being low class, Bardock's power level nearly matched that of King Vegeta, who could destroy multiple planets at once. At about this time, King Vegeta's power level was around...
Okay, my boy Planetary. He Planetary. Okay, so now he back in the fight because he Planetary. It's tight.
10,000.
Yeah, we know power levels are kinda janky. Nobody can agree on what the number really means.
Outside of his fight with Gas, Bardock doesn't really show any high-end feats in canon, but we can use power levels to compare him to other characters with similar levels to better understand his potential.
Like when his son fought Prince Vegeta. What's the scouter say about his power level? It's over 8,000.
Oh,
Yeah,
8,000?
the dub changed it to fit Vegeta's lip flaps, but we only cover the cold hard truth, damn it.
According to this
Oh.
movie pamphlet, Goku's power level between his fight with Vegeta and his trip to Namek was 10,000. This lines up with that previous reading and puts him on par with Bardock. Goku's training during the trip eventually raised him to 90,000 upon arrival, but this gives us a clear window.
Yeah, early in the trip, he had to dodge a bunch of incoming asteroids and blast his ship away from a star, which is impressive considering the speed involved.
The planet Namek is outside Earth's quadrant of the universe, and it took his ship 6 days to make the journey. Traveling a quarter of the universe's diameter would put the ship over 9.5 trillion times the speed of light.
And Goku would have had to keep up with that kind of speed to do all that other stuff.
Makes
Okay.
sense, given far weaker characters could reach the moon in a fraction of a second. Should be trivial enough for Bardock.
All this speed and power meant when Bardock and his team assaulted the planet Cereal, they went, cheerio!
Bardock ravaged the planet, annihilating its people, until he found 2 survivors, a mother and her child. Some may call it weakness, others a moment of clarity. But Bardock was suddenly reminded of his wife and recently born son. He chose to spare the 2, and even pushed himself far past his limits to protect them from his own Frieza Force allies,
Oh,
who
wow.
taunted that Frieza had dire plans for the Saiyans' future.
This moment changed Bardock, making him more appreciative of his family and cautious of Frieza. When all
Okay.
the Saiyans were called
So
back
this
to
was
Planet
canon for
Vegeta
Super.
for mysterious
This was for
reasons,
Super.
he had
Okay.
a hunch something was up. So before his final stand, smashing through hundreds of soldiers
Let's
before
see.
coming face to face with the tyrant, he sent his youngest kid away for protection. A choice that allowed his son to thrive. And hey, that's what good parents do.
A choice that would have a greater significance than Bardock could ever imagine.
And then Dildo Dickhead blew them all up and he died. Or did he? Bardock got killed so freaking hard he got blasted back in time.
Actually, he was pulled away by these 2 who miscalculated and misplaced him incorrectly in the time stream.
Blah, 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 non-canon, whatever.
That's
he
what happened.
survived. And when he realized what happened, he got so unbelievably pissed off, he went Super Saiyan.
Alright, this is very much an alternate universe what-if scenario, and it is jarring. But think about it. The Super Saiyan form is not achieved through training alone. It requires dedication, introspection, victory, failure, love,
So is that-
and
is
loss.
it canon?
Frieza destroyed the Saiyans because he feared the possibility of the Super Saiyan, a Saiyan with power that could rival his own. But perhaps Bardock's transformation was more than simply a what-if. He had begun to take the very steps his son later would to achieve the form. Perhaps if Frieza had hesitated, even for a moment, his fear would have manifested before him right then and there.
Damn, pour one out for Bardock, who figured out how to be the truest Saiyan right at the end of it all. I know Kakarot would be proud.
Alright, here we go.
Hey,
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
it's time for a death
Death
battle!
Let's get it. Come on, let's get it. Come on, let's get it. Excuse me. Ooh, got the 3D animation with it.
Great. Another gross bug planet.
This planet isn't anyone's to conquer.
Okay.
Don't underestimate me!
Let's go. Oh. Let's go, brother. Oh.
Just like my son, sticking his nose in places he's not ready for.
My sons would kick his ass.
Yeah. Facts. Facts. Dang. Throw my man ship at him. Yeah, I knew this. Ugh.
Whatever you are, you're an embarrassment.
He's a Nazaru.
Wait till you see the real power of a Saiyan.
Am I supposed to be impressed?
Ooh. Still not enough though. You're not putting up too much damage. You gotta go Super Saiyan. You gotta go Super Saiyan. He gonna bust out of that, yeah. Oh.
Shit.
Ah.
No.
He either go get clapped right here, or he's gonna go Super Saiyan.
I won't let you take me from
There it
my
is.
war.
Hey, stole that from your son, but okay. I feel like I still got Bardock, but I feel like they gonna get Omni-Man to win. But it's just like, yeah. It's a little more evenly matched now,
Your
though.
time is up! Saiyan!
You said Saiyan. Remember it.
Yeah. Goku come out of nowhere.
Fuck.
KO! Okay, these Gokus have got to stop picking fights with guys in capes.
Pitting Saiyan against Viltrumite is fascinating. Among the many similarities, 5 specific categories stand out.
Starting
Like the
with
more
speed, Bardock is much faster.
the more they start talking about like Omni-Man feats and things like that and strength and all of that, I was like, a base level Bardock would be tough. Super Saiyan Bardock was probably closer. It was a closer bout, but yeah, it wasn't no way around that one.
Given his power level matched Goku dodging asteroids at 9.5 trillion times light speed, much higher than the Viltrumite's fastest speed. Add on the 50 times multiplier from Super Saiyan and it's a huge difference.
Right, Bardock clearly has the speed advantage, but strength and durability are another story.
Though it doesn't seem like it at first, Bardock scales to King Veggie, who wrecked 3 planets at once, and Omni-Man only smashed 1. But given how big that one planet was, the numbers are actually pretty similar, until we factor in the Super Saiyan boost, right?
Well, there's a catch. A major plot point in Invincible involves the coalition of planets admitting that their weapons cannot hurt Viltrumites.
So, when their ship's cannon obliterated this gigantic solar disk, it highlighted just how tough the Viltrumites really are.
This disk
Okay.
completely blocked the sunlight and heat between a planet and its star. And this is no ordinary planet. Its size and
They're
density
strong.
are so high that its inhabitants are as strong as Viltrumites just due to living in its natural gravity. To fully block the light to such a planet and remain in consistent orbit, the disk would need to be positioned at its L1 point, the spot that creates an uninterrupted view between sun and satellite. And the disk itself must be about half the diameter of the star in question.
The science
this means
is
the
crazy.
scaling of the disk puts it at 3 septillion tons.
That's 24 zeros.
Which makes Omni-Man over 11,000 times stronger than base Bardock.
Not even the Great Ape or Super Saiyan forms could make up that difference.
Yeah.
So strength goes to Nolan.
Still, numbers aren't everything. As far as versatility in combat goes, neither had one distinct advantage that could win outright.
Omni-Man survives in space for much longer, but Bardock barely squeaks out the edge here thanks to his ranged versatility with key attacks and, of course, Super Saiyan.
Okay, let's address the Super Saiyan Bardock thing. It's perfectly fair to question whether or not the form should be in this comparison at all. However, even with the form included, Nolan still takes this, especially when it comes to our last two categories, experience and stamina.
Yep, Omni-Man's been around a lot longer than Bardock, over 2,000 years, and even with Super Saiyan, Bardock's no master of the form.
And without that mastery, the form drains the user's energies at an increased rate. Which brings us to what may be Omni-Man's most surprising advantage.
Those weird smart atoms.
Saiyans like Bardock can fight for days on end, but only for so long. Bardock possesses a limited pool of ki, which only depletes faster when using super forms like the Great Ape. In contrast, Omni-Man's biology prevents him from tiring in most cases, letting him travel across whole galaxies for weeks non-stop. And his smart atoms adjust to counter whatever physical strain he's subjected to.
Bardock's crazy speed and power made him a real challenge.
But Nolan's strength, experience, and sheer endurance presented an unstoppable and unshakable force that would inevitably land the killing blow.
When push came to shove, Omni-Man raised the bar. Duck.
The winner is Omni-Man.
Next time on Death Battle.
Well, Omni-Man got us. It's all good. Hey, man, I wanted Bardock to get it, but it made sense. It made sense. The mastery level of Super Saiyan, he never mastered it. It drains his power level. You can't, if you don't hone it, you just all over the place. But yeah, that was a good fight. That was a good battle. Y'all put in the comments who y'all think should have won, or did they do it right? What y'all think about Death Battle? Also, go over Death Battle, show them love, watch the original content. But yo, thank you for joining me. It's another episode of 30 Black and Nerdy. Like and subscribe. Peace.